Hello, Roftwood. It's me, Zombie GG with the Roftwood Coordination Center, proudly presenting you with another post-apocalyptic production I like to call an RCC Fireside Chat. This episode is part 2 of my series with Frank Byrne, a seasoned veteran in Malton and a longtime member of the Soldiers of Crossman Pro Survivor group. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show.
And it's the same thing when people come to us and who were in the leadership positions and tell us that, hey, I have this in my real life and I can't be playing with you guys anymore for a while or anything like that. We will always tell them that real life is priority. We will be here when you come back, but you obviously go and do your thing if you need to do that.
Yeah, it's a game, That's a wicked healthy perspective, Frank. I admit that I can kind of take the game a little bit too seriously at times. Like most recently, the Ridley Bank Resistance Front, my #1 all-time arch enemy, Lord Mullet, who I've done a series with, has just like smashed us in 2019. I've called in every survivor that I know, including Frank Byrne and the Soldiers of Crossman, to try to help pick up the damage. Because, man, Lord Mullet's, they have hard math numbers that can display the exact what happened. I think they literally killed 2,500 AP worth of survivors. So I don't know what that breaks down. Ruined a bunch of buildings. We're still trying to pick our crap back up. But the biggest thing is sometimes I can get lost in like forgetting the fun, because I'm just like, damn, how do I even fight these guys? Like, and it's hard to find fun sometimes when you're just waking up dead every single time you log in. And everything you want to hang out in is just in ruins, and there's PKers shooting you, and zombies biting you, and it's like you just want to hang out in your home.
But that's the thing. Being knee deep in shit is always also sometimes fun. So it's something to work past, and something that demands you to actually try something and challenge yourself.
I like exactly the challenge yourself thing, because it makes me challenge my headspace and be like, well, how do I make fun out of this? And then it's like, every story loves an underdog, So it's like, okay, so in this story right now, while like Ridley Bank is like just colonizing Roftwood as new Ridley Bank, and now I feel like an invader in my home. Every time I go to home, people kill me and dump my body out on the streets. How do I have fun out of this? And that's a challenge, and how I manage to do it is think of myself as the underdog fighting like, I don't know, David versus Goliath. Can I do it? And then like, even if I keep getting killed and losing, I kind of like to do the persistency thing, or at least they know I'm trying. I'm a character in their world. They know that this guy really wants Roftwood back.
Yeah, well, you have the role-playing background, so why not use it?
Yeah, like one time I did a bunch of stuff recently, and I was hanging out in Roftwood, and I AP'd out in a cinema, like a dark, ruined one. So I figured I'd have reduced chances of getting killed. But my last AP, I entered it, and then I log back in, and I just see like 2 RRF guys in there, and I just spent my last AP point. Like, Zombie GG sits right next to one of the RRF dudes with a big bag of popcorn. And they killed me, of course, but when they logged in, they saw that I'm just like, I painted that picture in their head that I'm like kind of defeated. Like, alright, whatever. Enjoy my last meal, do what you want with me. Good show.
I actually think something similar happened to me at Stamber Village when we were there a couple of weeks ago. I ended up with some RF members, and I understood there and then that I'm probably going to be dead.
Chances of survival less than like 10%.
Yeah, because if I have learned something from the RF from being on the other side when meeting them, it's that if you find them alive, don't sleep in that building, because if there's a lot of survivors in there, then they're going to make a strike on it. And that was my hunch back then, and it certainly came through.
Yeah, they're an awesome nemesis. They're definitely my favorite folks to fight.
I have a huge respect for RF as a zombie warden. We need good opponents to have fun also. So.
A group that I don't have any real experience with is the Dead. The Dead is that super zombie group that I guess doesn't really have a known meta presence, and they just haunt that northwest section of the city like really hard. I'm looking at the group stats right now, and November 2019, and they are just below the Ridley Bank resistance front, and those guys are always battling for the top group. And I know nothing about the Dead. I don't play with them or against them.
Yeah, I don't think many know about them. One of the last times we were with them was right before the Dead kicked off their March of the Dead 2.0, so...
Oh my gosh, I just brought up your profile. 33,000 experience. Dude, you have been committed. I'm almost at 10,000, I believe. Yeah, I have 9,900, so I'm almost in the 10k club. You're tripling me. 33,000, that's so nuts, bro.
I have probably taken mostly maybe 1 or 2 weeks off.
Dude, you're awesome. So loyal. Soldiers of Crossman for like the whole time on Frank Burns since like 2009.
Yeah, I have told some of our members that if we go inactive someday, then I am going to be the last SoC standing.
Thank you for your service to the Pro Survivor cause. I play a zombie and I play a human, but my main is Zombie GG and he's Pro Survivor. I just like to play the zombie side too. It's a pretty interesting aspect of the game.
Yeah, and I think that everyone should at least try it.
I think it's healthy for the game balance. Everyone should play one survivor and one zombie.
Yeah, and throw a PK in there also.
I have so many different themes I want for PK or alt. If I did make a 4th character, it would be like bank robber, where I only hit up banks and I just have a group of highwaymen eventually. And if you stay in a bank, you're probably gonna die. I just want that fear in the game and in survivors. I just want to be the most legendary bank robbing PK group. I think it would be hilarious.
I actually started a PKer as a role-playing character right after Frank sort of became just a play for fun character. And the idea behind him was that he was this crazy guy who thought he was an angel, and he sat in buildings just watching people, and as soon as someone committed a crime he thought was worth of punishing, then he went after him and
cast judgment.
him.
Roddy Winters, Grand Counselor of the Knights Templar, he told me about this other group, something about worshipping a sea blob, and yeah, before they'd kill anyone, they'd just do this crazy like dedication sacrifice thing to this like great sea blob character, and then they just murder everyone in the building.
Yeah,
the guy's name was Dr. Summeroff. I gotta find him. He still hangs out in Kempster Bank, I hear.
Creativity is a wonderful thing.
To me, Ron Burgundy was one of my favorite RPers. When I played in 2006 to 2008, that guy drew the biggest crowd. Zombies would follow, survivors would follow, and it'd just be like wicked fun always. You log in and you just have to scroll down because there's so much crap going on.
Yeah, I mean, when I joined up with Soldiers of Crossman, that was my first time with another group and interacted with other players in Urban Dead. And I mean, I was baffled by all these old war stories. It created an atmosphere for the game as a whole. And I look back at my me being the person I am today as this old guy in the Soldiers of Crossman. I'm always yelling at people. Back in my days, we did this and we did this. So I guess it's the mythos of Urban Dead and Malton as what it is and what it was and what it could be.
So honestly, I kind of want to drill you a little bit about the Dead because they're so fascinating to me. I hear that there's some accounts that they zerg. I don't like to believe that.
Back when March of the Dead 2.0 hit us, there was a lot of talking about that because their numbers skyrocketed. And what happened after that? Well, they pretty much killed almost the whole city.
The whole city of Malton?
Almost. We had to go into really strange tactics and sleep in open ruins that weren't dark, and
wow.
Survivor count went so low that the safety mechanics in the game kicked in, so you could find
needles in ruined buildings.
Yeah, exactly. So what we did, we just went from ghost town to ghost town, sleeping inside open non-dark ruins and just resetting repair costs as much as we could. And to be honest, that was some of the most fun I had. And we as a group,
fun sleeping in ruined buildings.
Yeah, but because that was something new. That was not the same shit I've been doing all day, all week. So it forced me to think differently, and I thought that was fun. I know that they
Challenged
were,
you.
yeah, I know that we had the members that didn't find fun in it as much as I did. We had a lot of people who dropped off, but at the same time we had a lot of people who came to us just because we were active. We were active group that
And
did
it
the
sounds
things,
like you're
even though
still having fun through all this goddamn
knee
darkness.
deep in shit. That is my natural environment.
Nice. I'm looking at the March of the Dead 2 now. So it says the number of very dangerous suburbs reached an all-time high on May 12th, 2011, when 80 suburbs were reported as very dangerous. Holy cow. Looting ruined buildings became a viable alternative, like you were saying. So,
Yeah.
like, you join in 2009, Cortana goes dark for a bit, and
Yeah.
then she comes
Shit
back.
hits.
Did she come back for the March of the Dead 2?
No, she wasn't around for the March of the Dead 2. I think she returned a bit after that, and we had to tell her all about it. And that was the time when she actually told us that, well, this is going to be permanent now. I'm leaving the game and all that.
It
So,
sounds like she
but,
put so much time and heart into it, where it's like, that's just her style. And I'm kind of like that too. It's like, I'm all or nothing. It's either like,
Yeah.
I'm all in on this game, or I'm absolutely a ghost. I can't just half-ass Urban Dead. It's weird.
Yeah, I would actually say that Cortana was the one who pushed us towards our goal of becoming the group we are today, and once Aishan joined us and became officer and all that, that's when he started to shape us into the more focused group that we are today, compared to what we were.
Who do you give
back
this
when.
credit to?
Aishan.
Aishan.
Yeah,
Can you send me his profile when you get a moment? I want to like...
he goes by Orson Flint on SoC character. If you look around on the wiki, he was a sysop and all that for a long time. So
I think I've seen him before, so we're talking about the same guy. It's spelled Aichhon.
yeah.
Yeah, Bob Moncrief has told me about this character's, or this player, not even this character, but he's told me about this player's contributions to the Urban Dead wiki.
Yeah, he's done massive work for both us and for the wiki also, as I understand it. So I'm not myself that involved with the wiki, but I use the wiki a lot, but I've never been much of a contributor.
So this guy, you say Cortana's the kind of the founder who kind of got it all going, and then Aishan is the guy who really kind of established the focus for the Soldiers of Crossman.
Exactly, he created our new forum. It's the same forum that we use these days, but back then it looked much better, and he was the driving force for us creating the officer roles in the group, and he shaped us to become a smart group rather than just a group that did things by sheer will and force. So.
So you definitely say he was a leader.
Yeah. Well, he well, that's the funny thing that almost all our leaders have been sort of the Cortana inspired. Not so much do as I say, more of a I do this for you and now you figure it out sort of leaders.
It says, I'm looking at his wiki page now. It says that he joined the Soldiers of Crossman in like 2009. Was he one of the first guys along with you?
Well, he joined around the same year, but I think that he'll probably join. It could be around summertime or something like that. The funny thing with him was that he actually got promoted pretty quick up to a lieutenant role, and he also had some sort of a temporary platoon leader role instead of Cortana once or twice when she went inactive for a certain period of time. So
I'm just so excited to eventually get in communication or contact with this person, because I've heard from multiple people that I respect, yourself included, that this guy has contributed some really cool stuff to this game.
Well, I wish you could, and I hope you can, but I'm not sure. I believe that he made it pretty clear that he's leaving pretty much all of Urban Dead.
Do you really think anyone who had such a heart at one point in time can really rip that heart out and, like, I don't know, throw it in Mount Doom?
If someone can, then it's him. He's a dedicated guy, and if he understands that, well, I do not have the time for this, which I think he didn't have, then I'm pretty sure he's able to just walk away, because that's the thing that's best for him personally. So, and I think that's the case. You know, so I think it was something about him becoming a parent and stuff like that. So
Yeah, just real life stuff. What do you think about Kevin? I want like Frank Burns' opinion on our game's great creator. Do you think he's given up on us?
well, it feels like that. I mean, the game has been almost the same for as long as I can remember. It's probably the Safe House editions that I remember that was the only real change that I experienced during my time here. And
do you remember
lately-
Fog back in the day and stuff? Like when I played back in like 2006, 2008, that was so neat. Just that simple little touch was so cool.
now that you mention it, does
Snow with the
sound
footprints.
familiar. Yeah, the snow, I remember. He has probably moved on to other projects. That's what I think. And I mean that it's natural. I mean I can't blame him, but at the same time I wish there was more new things that came out of Urban Dead, not just the same old stuff that we've been doing for the last years.
Did you play during Monroeville? Do you remember that little event in time?
No, I never got the opportunity to take part in that. It did sound pretty fun to have the.
Dude, if he did that once a year, once every 6 months, even if he said you had to pay like $1 to get in, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
How many people would just
I'd,
pay $1 and make a character and just do the little Monroe thing? I would.
yeah, I'd love that also. I love the hardcore aspect.
I get heartbroken when some of these people who've given us so much like fun, like Achon for you guys and the Soldiers of Crossman, Kevin for all of us, they just disappear. Like Cortana started the group and stuff, and it's just like, I'm done. But that's how
But-
real life works.
But then again, I think it's important that people who are in such positions know that when they aren't able to fulfill those positions anymore, then new blood should take a step forward. And I mean, I wouldn't be here if Cortana still was the platoon leader, probably as an officer. And Milhauser wouldn't be an officer if Asian wouldn't have stepped down, and Clayton wouldn't be an officer if I hadn't stepped down. So I think that it's important to also realize that it shouldn't always be you who do things. You should allow other people who are creative and who have the passion, who have the drive to continue what you have started or do something new if that's your thing.
Yeah, the art of letting things go is pretty powerful. I like created the Roftwood Elite when I came back to Urban Dead in like 2017 or whatever, and then my task as like RCC director just became, I came at a fork in the road where I couldn't do both. I couldn't do the like run a group and run like a Discord platform, so I had to delegate tasks, and I gave the keys to the Roftwood Elite to my friend Benigno, who inspired me back in the day when I first played in like my original run in Roftwood, the Survivor Security Zone. Do you remember that at all?
It does sound familiar, not something I remember off the top of my head, but
It was
the
like
name
the
sounds...
Zone Defenders like dream. It was quite ambitious, like Cortana, to have like a whole Northwest unified kind of organization. The Zone Defenders had that same idea with like the center of the city, a complex of 4 malls called the Survivor Security
right,
Zone.
Yeah, I remember this from back in the days.
Unfortunately, the Early Bank Resistance Front are also located in the Dead in the city, so any survivor who has dreams of doing anything around that place, it's a forlorn hope.
Yeah, but I think that these sort of ideas aren't something that are going to work in the system that is Malton and is the Urban Dead and is the zombie survivor relationship. I don't think that we should be able to keep secure zones. I think that we should be surviving. We should be
On the defensive.
Yeah. That's the only possible way we can complete the tasks.
It's not called like Survivor Apocalypse, it's Zombie Apocalypse, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like zombies are supposed to be the ones taking over the world and bringing the end of days.
Yeah, they should be overpowered, and maybe not as overpowered as they are in Urban Dead at this point in time, but
do you think the zombies are overpowered?
I think that they are in big enough numbers. They are absolutely overpowered with the whole blocking barricades and all that.
Oh, yeah, that update was pretty big.
Yeah.
Mall sieges have never been the same since
No, they have almost been impossible. So.
Pretty much. I see your narrative where, and I do agree with it. I do think survivors should always be on the defensive. That's kind of why I like the Ridley Bank Resistance Front and the Scourge so much as enemies, because they keep us on the defensive, and I feel like that's where I have the most fun, because I feel like I'm actually participating in a zombie apocalypse simulation or something.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on PKers? I think they're wicked realistic in a post-apocalyptic situation. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have humans who just kill other humans, so it's like, I understand why they do it. It makes us think out of the box because we don't play the same kind of tactics against PKers as we do zombies. So that's kind of fun. We come up with new styles of logging in and dedicating our AP.
Well, the PKers is one of these topics that I have talked with our members a lot about, because we have as a standard that we do not PK unless there's a really important reason for it, which is pretty rare that there is such a reason for it, but it's one of our rules you have to agree to when you join us, that you will not PK.
Do you even have a shoot second policy like the Knights Templars? They never shoot first unless it's RRF.
No, we only shoot if we these days it's Milhauser and Clayton, if they decide that
officers.
The officers, if they decide that we can gain something from it. If it's either tactical or if it's fun, then sure, we will allow this to happen. We might even create some sort of small competition within the group to tackle it, but it is not something we allow otherwise, because we view it as a waste of our resources to go and retaliate.
It's not part of your main focus.
No, we are pro survivors, and our main enemy is the zombies in this case. Going after PKers will hinder us from doing our job at working against the zombies and secure our own safety and the safety of other people.
That's super admirable. So you guys, unless officers say otherwise, will just like take PK hits and just like stand back up, go to the RP, get poked. Just
because we will waste less AP doing so.
Damn, you look at the bigger picture.
Going to check for ammunition and then going to actually find these people, and I mean,
light up the building that they're hiding in. Yeah, it takes a lot of effort to hunt PKers. Hello again, Roftwood. This concludes part 2 of my series with Frank Byrne, a 10-year veteran with the Soldiers of Crossman Pro Survivor group. Stay tuned for the final part 3 coming soon. This RCC Fireside Chat is a post-apocalyptic production proudly presented to you by the Roftwood Coordination Center. I'm Zombie GG, and as always, Roftwood, the pleasure's been mine.